Welcome back. I'm glad to see you today. Glad you could join me. And today I thought we'd do something a little bit different. I think you'll enjoy it. But before we start, I'm going to have them run all the colors that you need across your screen, and they'll come across in the same order that I have them on the palette, starting with the titanium white and working around. And today I've started with a canvas that's dry. It has no magic white on it, nothing yet. We'll put some on later, but we're going to start off with a canvas that's very, very dry. Okay, now I want to use a large brush and go right into some burr umber and beat a little bit into the bristles. Just a small amount, that's all we need. And let's go right up in here, and I'm just going to scrub a little bit of this burr umber color right onto the canvas. Just scrub it on. Very, very thin coat. Just let it go. Have fun with it. There. Okay. Now, see how easy that is? Let's go right into a little bit of phthalo blue. Just a small amount. This blue is very, very strong. And work it into the bristles. Beat that brush on there. That way you get a nice even distribution of color all the way through the bristles. Okay, now let's go right up here. And we'll put a little bit of the blue. Now, I didn't clean the brush, so we have blue and brown on the brush. But the blue is so much stronger, you will still see blue. There we go. Just really work that in. I don't want to kill all the brown. Don't want to kill it all. There. Okay, now I'll clean the brush, and we clean our brush with odorless paint thinner. And I really suggest that you use odorless paint thinner or you're going to be working by yourself. You'll run everybody in the house out. There we go, and we beat the bristles dry. Now let's go back up in here, and very lightly, we'll just blend all this together. And you can probably hear the strokes because the canvas is dry. Usually we have a wet canvas and the brush just glide over it. But today we're using a dry canvas, so you're going to hear the strokes a little bit more. There. And that's a super way to make a very effective little sky. Very easy. Very, very easy. Okay, now I'm going to go right into some titanium white with a fan brush and really load a lot of paint into the bristles. There we go. A lot of paint. Let's go up to the canvas, and we'll put a happy little cloud right up in here. And maybe he lives right there. Very little pressure. Just let it bounce around and play. I'm using just the corner of the fan brush and pushing quite hard. And you want areas that are thick, areas that are thin, areas that have absolutely no paint. Okay, now we can form our cloud. You have to make a basic cloud shape. You can't just take and throw on paint and expect an almighty cloud just to appear. You need a basic shape. Okay, we'll use that for our basic shape. And I'll take a large brush, and I'm going to just very lightly blend the bottom out. Just blend it out. Just want the bottom to basically just disappear and pick up some of the brown and the blue that we have under there. Don't touch the top at all yet. Not yet. We will in a minute. Okay, there we go. There we go. Just let all these little things just happen. Now I'm going to fluff it. Just lift it up. Fluff it, fluff it, fluff it. And I beat the brush just to remove excess paint. And then we'll very lightly just blend it. There we go. And that's all there is to it. It gives you a very effective, quiet little cloud. It's far away and soft. All right, now on the bottom of the canvas, I'm going to cover that with magic white. And I'm just using the old dirty brush and allowing those colors to mix. It's got a little brown, a little blue on it, and a little cloud color, whatever, it doesn't matter. There we go. Now, we've completely covered the bottom with magic white, so now the bottom's wet and slick, and we can actually blend color right on the canvas. We'll let that come right up into the color. That'll create a nice misty area when we're finished. Okay, now we can wash our brush. There we go. There, that's the most fun part of all. That's where you take out all your frustrations and hostilities. Okay, I'm gonna get another another fan brush. I have several going here, so I don't have to stop and wash them all the time. And I'll go into a small amount of phthalo blue, a little bit of alizarin crimson. And I've left paint thinner on the brush, so this paint is very, very thin. Very thin. Very thin. Okay, let's go right up in here. And I'm going to drop just some little indications far away, barely touching the canvas. Just want some little indications of distant trees. Very soft, quiet, happy. Just let them play. Have fun. Now you let these go wherever you want them, because, you know, when you buy your first tube of paint, you get that artist license, and it says you can do anything that you want on canvas. You have absolute power here. So you create your world the way you want it. We just want to show you how to make effects and turn you loose. Just turn you loose. There. Okay, now I'll take the large brush, and I want to create some mist down here at the bottom, so gently tap. And here it's beginning to mix with that magic white. And it'll get very soft. If you were using a dry canvas here, it wouldn't mix. Wouldn't mix. You'd get a very harsh line. Barely hitting right here. There. And the more mist you want, the harder you hit it. And you bring that color down. You're looking for the soft area. Okay, then very lightly, I'll just lift upward. Very lightly, very lightly. Just gently, gently caress it. There. Okay, now then, I'm going to put a couple more layers, and we need to mix up some color. So I'm going to take some phthalo green and alizarin crimson, about equal parts, and we'll mix those together. And when you're mixing paint, pick it up off the palette and turn it over. Otherwise, what's against the palette never gets mixed. Pick it totally up, turn it over. There. Okay, let me clean my knife. We'll get another fan brush. I've just got all kinds of fan brushes going today. A little bit of paint thinner on the brush, so the paint's quite thin. All right, let's go right up here, and maybe right. We got to make a decision. Now see, this color is black, so it'll stand out. But as it hits those other colors, it's going to begin to dilute a little bit and make all kinds of beautiful gray tones, and just unbelievable things happen. And let them happen. Let them happen. Don't fight with the canvas. You know, over and over I say, we don't make mistakes, we have happy accidents. And you learn to use anything that happens. So let it happen. Let it happen. You're depending on it. That's what makes it so fantastic. That's why we don't use any patterns or tracings. We want it to happen on the canvas. We don't want any restrictions. We want to just let it flow. Okay? Now we'll take the large brush, and once again, I'm going to tap the bottom of this just to soften it, make it very quiet. Very quiet. There. And gently, 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 I'll lift upward. And see, each layer that you put in here creates another plane in your painting and creates more of the illusion of depth and pushes everything back. So the more planes that you have in a painting, the more depth that you'll have. Tell you what, when we got that color going here, maybe there's a tree that lives here that, maybe he got a lot of vitamins and really grew. Big evergreen lives right there, just a corner of the brush, back and forth, back and forth. Just let him come right out of your brush. He lives in there, but he hides sometimes. You have to push him out. Just push him right out. There he comes. There he comes. Okay, now we can start, and I think I'll try a 1-inch brush, and we'll begin putting a little bit of color back here. And we'll go into a small amount of cad yellow and sap green, and I'm going to add a little bit of brown to that, Van Dyke brown to it to dull it. Don't want it too bright. A lot of color into the brush. Okay. Now back here, we're just going to see how lightly we can touch. We're just going to touch. And you can use a 2.5-inch brush for this, or the 1-inch brush, whatever makes you happy. We're just going to put some little indications. Don't want too much detail. It's too far away. Too far away right now. As we get closer, then we'll add more detail. But back here, we don't want detail. Okay, I'm adding in a little Indian yellow. Indian yellow is a beautiful color, very transparent. Okay, now we begin working on layers here. Just let all these little things happen. Let them come off your brush. Still not looking for detail. Just basic little shapes way back in the distance. And with my large brush, once again, I'm going to soften the bottom of these. I really want this painting to be very soft, quiet, very gentle. And lightly lift upward. Create that illusion of mist again. Okay, and that gives us a super, super nice little background that has a lot of depth in it. You can see plane after plane after plane. And once again, that's what creates the depth in your painting, and it gives you good feelings in here. Okay, let's begin working on some trees that are a little closer. Now go into some Van Dyke brown, a little burnt umber, and just mix it on the brush. Mix it on the brush, don't worry about it. Maybe, here I'm just tapping, maybe there lives a nice tree right here. Now you have to make these decisions. Since this is your world, you have to figure out where these trees live, because they live wherever you want them. And all I'm doing here is just applying some very, very basic shapes. We're not looking for detail, just general shapes. There. Add a little alizarin crimson to that color here and there. Break it up some. So we got Van Dyke brown, burnt umber, a little alizarin crimson. You see, that quick. We got a nice area to play with. Now we'll use a large brush and we'll go back and we'll put some highlights on some of these. I'm going to add a small amount of paint thinner to my brush, and we'll go right into, oh, there's some cadmium yellow, a little yellow ochre, beautiful, a little Indian yellow, and just mix all these colors together on the brush. Just mix them on the brush. We can even put a small amount of permanent red in there. That permanent red is very, very strong. A little sap green. And we have layers of color in the brush. Layers of color. So many things will happen rather than just one old dead color coming out. We're going to have all kinds of beautiful little things happening in there right here in this brush. Let's go right up here. Now, all we're going to do here is just tap and put some beautiful little leaves here. And I'm just using the very corner of the brush. Just a corner. And just touch it and let these little things just come right off your brush. There. And keep varying color. Just sort of go back and forth and play with the color. Let all these little things happen. There's one. Wherever you want them, that's where they live. Let them go. Let them go. Okay, let's add a little more of the sap green. Tiny bit more. Put a nice little green one right there. Don't want him left out. And right there is a nice one. See how easy these are? These are probably some of the simplest little bushes there are to make. And they work so easy. Anybody can do them. Anybody can do them. But you need to build layers. That's what creates the depth. You need layers. You do one bush at a time, and you have that little rascal totally finished before you go to the next one. If you try to do them all at once, they're just going to make mud for you. And I know sometimes, because we have to paint very fast on TV, it looks like we're just running across a room and socking the canvas. It's a gentle touch, and it's one bush at a time. Just one at a time. Don't get in too big a hurry. Let it happen. Okay. Now I also have several of these 2.5-inch brushes, and I'll just tap the bottom here and create a little mist with these. Don't forget, these brushes that we use are natural bristles. They're not nylon or polyester or any other man-made fiber. Use natural bristle brushes. It's very, very important. Nylon will cut paint. We don't want to cut it. Okay. we go. See how all that blends together and makes all that beautiful, beautiful little misty area down here. And it's that easy. Just let the brush work. Okay, now we need, if we're going to put some foreground in here, we need a dark color in order that the light will show. You need dark in order to show light. You put light against light, you have nothing. Dark against dark, you have nothing. You need light against dark, dark against light. That's what creates all the beautiful illusions and makes things stand out. So let's go, I'll go right into some of this black color that I made, and we'll put a little brown in it, whatever. Just let it happen. And we'll just tap in some, oh, maybe there's a little hill here. Maybe it comes, there we go. Make a decision. Just make a decision and go with it. Go with it. Let it happen. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And we just quickly drop in some nice dark color. And maybe in your world, maybe you decide there's another bush that lives right there. Wherever. Wherever. There are no rules. Bushes live wherever makes them happy. And if they're happy there, that's where they ought to be. Maybe this one comes down, whatever. Okay, I'll just cover all this up very quickly. A lot of dark color. Doesn't matter, as long as it's dark, as long as it's dark. This is predominantly a brown color. But if you have some lavender left over, or black, just drop it in. Drop it in. Just needs to be dark. Needs to be dark. And down here it needs to be darker than back here. As things get closer to you in a landscape, they should get darker. There we go. Okay. Now go back to the brush. It had the color on it. This is a 2.5 inch. And very lightly here, I'll load a little bit of color. And we'll come right down here, and maybe there's some happy little grassy things that live here. And I'm just touching, tapping. See there how easy? And it makes beautiful little grassy areas. And I use just the corner then to put highlight on these. We decided there was another bush lived there. So I use just the corner of the brush. And we'll put him some little sparklers out there. There we go. There we go. And I think we put another one over here. So I'll add a little bit of permanent red to my color. Ooh, let him just really stand out. He is a beauty. Okay, I'm gonna drop in some more of these little grassy areas, wherever you want them. And you make up your mind where you think light's gonna strike them, and just tap. You know, that's such a beautiful little place. I'd like to have a little house there, and this is my world, so we can put anything we want. Maybe there's a little chalet out here. I like those. So I use the knife sometime and take off some of this excess paint, and it will help you. It will really help you if you take off some of this thin, loose paint. And it's also a nice way to lay out a basic shape. A little chalet, the roof comes all the way down. Carpenter didn't know when to stop, so he just made the roof all the way down to the ground. So that's what we'll do. See? Now that gives you a basic shape, allows you to lay out your perspective a little bit and get it like you want it. Take some Van Dyke brown, and we'll do this back eave back here. Pull it straight across. Straight across. See? Like so. Now we need, let's put some paint in here. And all we're doing is just laying in the base color, the undercolor. We'll come back later and highlight it and put shape in. Right now we're just laying in base color. If you like buildings, in our third series, we devoted nearly the whole series to showing you how to make all kinds of beautiful little buildings. So I think you'll enjoy it. There. Now we put the other side of the roof on and straighten it up wherever you want it. And if it gets too long somewhere, you can take your knife and cut it off, or you have unlimited power on this canvas. See? If you want a chalet, then we'll just zoop, cut it off. Now then we need, I'll tell you what, let's take a little permanent red, a little Van Dyke brown, mix it together. Permanent red, Van Dyke brown. And I'll use a small edge of the knife. And tell you what, let's put a few little shingles on this. Maybe they come right here. Touch, just lift upward. Touch and lift. Start at the bottom, we'll work up. And it's just a super easy little way to make all kinds of little shingles. Come right on up like that. Let them go, wherever you want them, wherever. And I'm going to take a little brown and white. A little brown and white. And we'll put, there, just pull it down. Let that paint break. No pressure. No pressure. No pressure at all. Barely touch. And I'll go back with some straight Van Dyke brown. We'll lay in some shadows. See how you can just play this back and forth and create all kind of illusions. And we need a little door in here so you can have a way to get into your house. Just pull it across with Van Dyke brown. Take a little bit of color and go around the door. Maybe in this little chalet, maybe there's a window that lives right there. There, just Van Dyke brown. Maybe there's one up top here and one there. And we can take a little color and go around these. There. See how easy that is? And maybe there's boards. If you want the illusion of boards, just take the point of the knife and cut right down through the paint. And it'll make it look like this house is made out of little boards. Okay. A little bit of white, and we'll put a little there. Boy, that'll make it stand out so you can see it good. And there's our little chalet, all finished. Okay, let's add a little more color here. Get a tiny bit of paint thinner on my brush. Thin paint will stick to a thick paint. And let's put a little bit of grass coming right down through here. There it goes. Maybe it comes right down, right down. There it is, there it is, there it is. Just make these decisions, let it happen. Tell you what, we need a way to get to our cabin. Chalet up here. Let's take a little Van Dyke brown and let's put there it is, there it is. Happy little path. Maybe this little path comes, there it is. There it is, just sort of visualize. Look at your painting, make decisions, let it happen. Let it happen, let it flow right out. And we'll take a little brown and white here and just barely touch. And let that paint break. Put a little highlight on there. Okay. Let's go right into some of our, this is all the different yellows that we're using and a little bit of permanent red. Just let these things happen. Just mix all these colors on the brush. There it comes, right down through there. See there? Just let it happen. Go into a little more sap green. All those beautiful little colors. And take your time when you're doing this. Boy, you can really make some soft effects and just blend them together. Just tap. Just tap. Okay. A little more sap green. I want it a little darker over here in this corner so that your eye goes to the back. Now you understand why we put all that dark under there. It makes the lighter color stand out. Otherwise, you couldn't see it. It would just literally disappear. If your paint will not stick well, add a little bit of paint thinner to it, and then it'll stick. A little bit of paint thinner will make it stick. See, isn't that easy? We've got all kinds of little beautiful grassy areas. A little bit of light right there, make it stand out a little more. Okay, we'll take a clean fan brush, put a little bit of white on it, and let's just go back and sort of clean up some of these little edges. I sort of messed them up a little. There, just barely touch, pull across. At least a little bit of white paint on it. Like so. And. Now, we can clean up some of these little edges. So you put a little bump there, make it a little more interesting. Then come right up through here. And I think that gives you a good idea of what you can do. It's very simple, a lot of fun. I think you'll enjoy it. Tell you what, let's sign this one. We'll use a little bit of paint thinner and go right into my permanent red. Load that old liner brush up, a lot of paint. I'll go right up here. And I really, really hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope it's taught you a lot of things, made you happy, stirred your imagination. You got your brush out now ready to go along. So with that, I think we'll call this painting finished. I look forward to seeing you next week, and until then, happy painting. God bless.